How is Rome Odunze? What can you tell me about his knee right now, Coach?
Yeah, so he had an MRI, and he has MCL sprain, and it's a day-to-day deal. So we'll see where he is tomorrow on Wednesday, and what's going on there. And then again, we'll reassess it as we go, like it's day-to-day. And again, I know he's a super tough guy, and he has his range of motion and has all those types of things that go along with that. But again, that has some pain to it, but we'll see where it goes.
No, and I understand, coaches talking about injuries is the last thing you want to talk about. But it's possible we do see him on Sunday night, is what you're saying.
Yes,
okay.
Right now, we'll assess it as we go.
Yeah, as we're discussing. Matt Eberflus, the head coach of the Chicago Bears. How'd you like calling the defensive plays, Matt? How'd you like that?
I've always enjoyed that. I enjoy the preparation of that. I enjoy the in-game adjustments that you have to make. I've always enjoyed that. The last 48-hour preparation that you do, the sequencing of plays and how you're going to call things, and then adjusting during the game. So that's enjoyable for me, and we'll continue to do it.
How do you then still remain focused on what's going on with the offense, even though Coach Waldron is handling that? But how do you, as the HC, handle this full plate now? How do you do that?
I think it's really good. I have an excellent defensive staff. Eric Washington is our defensive coordinator, and the rest of those guys have been with me for years, so they understand how we operate and the adjustments that we need to make. So it's pretty easy, in terms of that, the in-game adjustments, halftime adjustments that you're making. And then I'm just over with the offense the entire time, managing the game, managing the timeouts, managing the challenges, the margins in terms of when we're going for fourth downs in the quad zone, and relaying those to Shane, on first or second down. So he's getting prepared for those types of go for it situations. So yeah, it's been relatively easy. I've been doing that for 3 years now, so it's pretty good.
And you making sure everybody's lined up on sides offensively, because my goodness, and we're seeing these the emphasis of flags in the first week of the season, talking about who's covering up who and who's lined up properly at the guard position. What do you think about that emphasis change and how it played out in week number 1, Coach?
Yeah, I talked to NFL sent a tape to us, and we showed it to the players, in terms of the offensive tackles, breaking the waist, of the center, and our guys do a really good job with that. And then, the motions with the receivers, making sure they're not shaving towards the line of scrimmage. And, we made a point of emphasis on Friday, and we did a solid job of that during the course of the game. But again, those things the rules are in place for a reason. I think the NFL officials do an excellent job enforcing those rules and communicating them to us. And again, there's always going to be some point of emphasis. Obviously the hip drop tackle was one of them last spring, and we haven't seen a bunch of that so far, and that's out of the game. And I really agree with that rule, because it is a dangerous tackle, but there's always going to be a point of emphasis from the NFL.
Well, and the dynamic kickoff, it seems like a third of the kicks got returned, and the average line of scrimmage for offensive setups was just shy of the 30-yard line. And you're again a defensive-minded coach. Obviously, you're a head coach, but it seems like a lot of your colleagues and maybe yourself are like, well, I'll just defend 70 yards. Is that your approach to the dynamic kickoff, Coach?
I think it really depends on who's returning the kick. You certainly would have a hard time kicking to Devin Hester. You would definitely kick that out.
Right.
But for sure, we had some good covers last week. We got him inside the 25 a couple times, and had some really good tackles, which we can create some takeaways during that time. So we actually like kick and cover. But again, I think it depends on who we're playing against, and we'll be able to adjust that every single week.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.